guys, it's me, I'm back. Today am filming a cheer makeup tutorial for competition season, which is right around the corner, so let's get straight into it. I have my little mirror here right next to the camera, so if I'm looking over there, that's why. So first of all, we're going to prime the skin. This just ensures that your skin's going to look flawless under your foundation. And you're going to dollop of that just kind of everywhere, really. Just going to blend that all in. We're going to give that about 5 minutes to settle into our skin, but while we're waiting for that, we can use that time to do our eyebrows. To do my eyebrows, I'm using an Eyeshadow Beverly Hills double-sided brow pencil with a little spoolie, a little pencil on the other end. What I'm gonna do is just brush through my brows, get my little brush end, and just start filling them in. And I do like to fill in my eyebrows a little bit more than what I normally would for competition, just because I'm gonna have so much eye makeup on. It has to kind of like, be equal with how much eye makeup I have. So I like them to be a little bit darker for competitions. Now that I have my eyebrow all filled in, I'm gonna go ahead and conceal around the eyebrow. To do this, I'm just using my concealer and a small flat brush. I'm putting the concealer on the back of my hand, picking up a little bit of the concealer on the brush itself, and then running it under my eyebrows to create a nice sharp line. Be careful not to get this in your hair because it will just ruin the colour you just put down. Once you've lined under the bottom, do the top as well. My next step that I do with my eyebrows, I take a clear brow gel and go over my eyebrows just to set them in place. But if you don't have this product, or if you can't be able to do this step, don't worry about it. It's not really vital. It just makes your eyebrows just look that little bit more polished, I suppose. Now we're ready to start applying our foundation. I'm going to apply a few pumps to the back of my hand and use my damp beauty blender to spread that on my face. And I know that this isn't my skin color right now because I usually have this on when I have a fake tan on, so obviously it isn't going to match my neck or my skin at the moment, but just imagine I have a fake tan on and that it does match, because right now it won't, but just use your imagination for this bit. So I'm just going to use this concealer just to conceal my under eyes, bridge my nose, my forehead, my chin. So as you can see, now that I have all that on, I look a little bit shiny under my eyes and around my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some setting tartar just to eliminate that shine and just create a really nice matte base. This is just a translucent powder here that I'm using. I'm gonna just tip a little bit into the lid like this. Open it really carefully so it doesn't go everywhere. And I'm just gonna use my beauty blender to apply it under my eyes, on my chin, and pretty much everywhere that you put concealer a minute ago, or anywhere that you feel like makeup's gonna come off throughout the day, which for me, around my nose, on my forehead. It's gonna be brushed off anyway, so this part doesn't really need to be too neat. I also like to apply a little bit along my cheekbone, along the bottom of my cheekbone, in a straight line leading down towards the corner of my mouth. This just really brings your face in again and creates that nice, fine look. Now that I've had that on for a few minutes, I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush and just wipe all that away. Now I'm gonna start doing some contouring, and for this I'm just using Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette, which just has 4 shades, using the darker shade. I'm just putting some on my brush. I'm gonna start contouring my face, and when I do this, I'm just gonna be applying some on my cheekbones like this. I'm also taking this dark color and going over that really gross dead patch here with the color just to create a nice defined jaw. I'm also going up onto the temples and in the center of the forehead. I'm also taking the lighter shade in this palette here, and on my beauty blender I'm just going into that like so. I'm just going to apply this under my eyes and bring it up also towards my temples. I'm going to be going in with that lighter brown shade, taking it on a slightly smaller brush that I can control more, and just really defining out those lines I created a minute ago. Now my nose looks a little bit lost in my whole face right now because it's absolutely blank, so what we're going to do is do a little bit of nose contouring. I'm taking this smaller sort of fluffy brush here and going in with the lighter shade in the palette I was using before. And with this shade I'm going to just define up the sides of my nose and the tip of my nose like this. Pulling down from the eyebrow and towards the tip of the nose. And just as important as it is to darken up the nose, it's also important to lighten up the high points of the nose. So using my finger, I'm going to go in with the light color and just draw a little tiny line down the center of the nose and across the tip of the nose. And that is the base of your face completed. I'm never going to move on to the eyes. And with my eyes, I do personally like to use these eye shields that I've got from Sportsgirl. They're like $3. They come in a pack of 30, and these I just apply under my eye and going up diagonally towards my eyebrow like that. This step is optional. I just find that it creates a more clean look and make sure that no eyeshadow gets on the bottom of your eye. It looks kind of crazy, but it does the job, alright? I'm just gonna go in with the shade Cashew here, which is just a really nice light brown shade. And with this, I'm gonna be going up just above my crease. This just creates a nice base color to work with. I'm just going to be layering that up so it becomes a little bit darker towards the outside, but still covering the entirety of my upper eyelid. Now that I'm happy with that color, what I'm going to do is go in with a slightly darker color on the outer corners of my eye. I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush so I can have more precision. And with dark colors like this, it's better to start with less and work your way up rather than putting too much in at the start and having to try and backtrack your way. So I like to just start with a small amount and then just gradually work it up to the desired amount. With this brown color, I'm just packing it in that outer corner and gently sweeping it up towards the upper section of my inner corner. Now I'm going to take a dark black color, and with this same thing, it's better to start with less and work your way up to more. I'm putting this in a similar sort of area on that outer corner, but focusing it more on the lower portion. Using small circular motions, I'm just dragging it up slightly into that crease and across, but not too far. Using the same brush, I'm going to pack in a little bit more, but now focus it mainly on coming in towards where the outside of the circle of your iris ends, bringing it in towards that line. Now with my finger, I'm just going to take in the lightest shade that I have in this palette here, which is this color here. I'm going to take it, just going to put my finger in there. I'm just going to pack it on into the middle of my eyelid like this. And then I'm just going to swipe it out towards either edge. At this stage, I'm going to remove the shield. Removing the shield also does take away from a little bit of product underneath your eyes. I find it important just to tap it with the beauty blender just to kind of blend in any spots that may have been removed. Now I'm going in with a Kat Von D Shade and Light palette here, just because the colors that are in here are a little bit more intense. But if you have a more intense white color in the palette that you're already using, feel free to use that one. I'm going in with this color here. It's a really, really, really intense white shimmery color. Using my finger again on the same area I did before, but focusing it more towards the inner corner. I'm just going to keep packing that on until I'm happy with the desired color, which should be a nice solid white. Now going in with a really, really skinny brush like this, I'm going to go under my eye with a darker color. I like to use a mixture of red and brown, but if you want to just use brown or another color, it's up to you. It's personal preference with this one, so I recommend just testing it out and seeing what you like the best. So I personally like to go in with this color here, Burnt, and then the color Cashew again under my eye. And it's important to use a smaller brush because otherwise you're going to get too much product under your eye and it's going to really bring it's going to really bring your eyes down and it's kind of going to ruin the brightness that you just created with that white. So it's really important just to be very specific with where you're putting this color and only use a little bit. I'm applying this right up against my lash line. Focusing mainly on the outer corner because we're going to put some more bright colors in the inside corner. And now to finish off the eyeshadow part of the look, I'm going to go and use my Steel Liquid eyeshadow here, but if you don't have this product, you can just use the same shimmery eyeshadow you were using before. I'm going to take that same skinny brush I was using before for my concealer. I'm going to get a little bit of that, and I'm going to be applying this along the bottom sort of edge here of my inner corner. And I'm also going to apply just a little bit into the middle of my eyelid. Now that I'm happy with the way that my eyeshadow looks, I'm going to do a little bit of eyeliner. I'm just going to do a really small amount of eyeliner because I am going to put quite bold lashes on and I don't want to have too much black going on my eye. Get my eye slightly open like this so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to just apply it about here and bring it across. I'm not doing too much of a dramatic wing, but if you like to do a dramatic wing or if you're really good at eyeliner, go for it. I'm just not very good at it, so I don't like to do it too much so I don't mess it up. But this is what I do, just a little tiny bit. Now I'm going to apply my fake lashes. For my fake lashes, I'm just going to be applying a little bit of lash glue to the back of my hand, and then I'm going to use the corner of the actual glue bottle itself to pick up the product and put it onto the eyelash. And putting it onto the eyelash, almost like connect the dots. I'm going to start off by doing a little bit in this corner here, getting a little bit more, putting a little bit more in that corner there, getting a little bit more, putting some in the middle, and then connecting the inside dots between those 3 dots you've just made. With lash glue, I focus mainly on the 3 sections that are the outside corners in the middle, because that's where you're going to be sticking them down to your eye, and it's really important that they stick in those spots so they don't fall off throughout the day. With lashes, I like to give them a few minutes before I put them onto my eyes after the glue's been on there, just so the glue has a chance to get a bit more tacky, which just stops them from slipping around your eyes when you're trying to apply them.